Hey, it's Mac Byrne again.
And today, we're not going to be in the trusted Tesla. Yeah, I know. That means we're not going to be able to check out any supercharger spots on this video. But we do have some good travel content for you guys to look at. So let's check it out.
Hey, everybody. Listen, today, Drika and I, we're getting ready to take a short day trip to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Everybody know we've been stationed in Madison, Wisconsin, which is maybe about an hour 20 or an hour 30 minutes away from Milwaukee. So we decided that we were going to go and see what Milwaukee is all about. So I think Drika, she's ready to see something new other than Madison. So we're going to see what Milwaukee is all about. So let's do it.
Now, like I said before, the drive to Milwaukee is about an hour and a half away from Madison. Now, there's nothing too much to see on the drive, so you just got to find ways to entertain yourself. Now, we knew the minute we started getting close to Milwaukee, the traffic started getting thick and we slowed down a lot. But it gave us a lot of time to look at different sites like this right here, the American Family Field. Now, this is where the Milwaukee Brewers play. That's a baseball team for those that don't know. Now, this particular building right here, it has a retractable top, meaning it closes and opens up. So actually, that's something I want to see in the future. Well, for some reason today, as we reached the inner city limits on the expressway, the traffic thinned out pretty good. And we got to rolling the way we really like to roll, fast. But it gave us a chance to kind of look at the skyline and try to decide where we wanted our first stop to be. So, after some thinking, we decided our first stop would be America's Black Holocaust Museum.
All right, today's first stop, we're going to be going to the America's Black Holocaust Museum. It's a little small museum here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Everybody knows that when we go certain places, we try to find out what the African-American influences were in that particular city or town. And we try to just soak in the culture and the history of that particular, city and town. So America's Black Holocaust Museum is where we're going to be checking out. So let's have at it.
America's Black Holocaust Museum was founded in 1988 by Dr. James Cameron, who was actually a survivor of a lynching. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that later in the video. But the museum, it started off like a little storefront or in a little storefront. And I think the city went through like a bit of economic struggle and they lost the building. But they did rebound to bring you the new building right here as the current location of America's Black Holocaust Museum. As you walk into the museum, there's a nice biography dedicated to Dr. Cameron that tells us a little bit about his life's journey. And I want to stop right here because it's interesting to see how I'm in a museum in Wisconsin and I find out that the founder has ties to my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama. But I'll actually share more about, more information about this later in the video. Now, as we tour the museum, I'm not going to cover everything because even though I got permission to film inside, they really want you to come inside and experience the museum for yourself.
So we decided to stop by this place called decided to stop by this place called the American Black Holocaust Museum. It was very interesting. It was founded by a guy, Dr. James Cameron is his name, Dr. James Cameron, and I think he was born in Wisconsin, and then he moved to Birmingham, Alabama when he was about 8, then moved to Indiana. And while he was in Indiana, I think he was maybe about 16 years old, and he was had two older friends that was getting ready to try to commit a crime against some white individuals, and they ended up committing the crime. But he actually ran away before they started because he wanted no part, of any crimes and stuff like that or whatever. But he ended up getting tied up in the crime, and the guy he went to jail or whatever. And while in jail, he got lynched. Yeah, while he was in jail, they was getting ready to lynch them, and the two individuals, which were his friends, they ended up getting lynched. But he ended up getting the noose around his neck, and he ended up closing his eyes. And he said his mom always told him to pray when he felt like he was in trouble or something like that or whatever. So he said he closed his eyes and he began to pray, and he heard a voice say, listen, he had nothing to do with it. And he said the next thing he did was opened up his eyes, and he was back in the jail. And a lot of people, try to, I guess, discredit what he said, but they couldn't discredit because he had noose burns around his neck. So again, that was very interesting to me, that when he felt threatened or felt in trouble, he began to pray to the Lord. He said his mom told him to pray to the Lord. So again, we just went there. We'll just show some shots or whatever. So we'll have some of that footage also in there. So that's it. So Jerika wants me to film this grass right here. She's trying to figure out what kind of grass is that. So anybody know what kind of grass that is? You can put it in the comments.
Well, that's it for America's Black Holocaust Museum. We definitely enjoyed our time there, but it's off to the next adventure, where we'll be hitting up the historic 3rd Ward and checking out the public market there. So click right here if you want to check it out with us. I'll see you on the next video.